I'm gonna say this, if I may, interject briefly. Based on Will's recalcitrant diatribe that we had to endure and suffer.
Hey,
Uh,
how do you spell that word? I want to look that
uh,
up.
go ahead, my brother. That's on you. If you ain't got it, you ain't got it. You did.
I
I
never
got
heard of it.
charisma, gang. I told you I got charisma, gang.
I never
But
heard of it.
no, all jokes aside, bro. Like, I do agree with much of what Will was saying and Hink was saying as well. And I also agree with some of what Marcus was saying to a degree. I think our focus is in the wrong place. Our priorities, especially when it comes to children, for some reason we prioritize troubled, traumatized um, children that lash out, that misbehave. You see it in school. They get the most attention. The counselors are always pulling them out the class, trying to talk to them. The kids that are sitting there doing their work, becoming the valedictorian, especially in the black community, our children who do well, they get clowned, they get bullied, they get called the nerd, they jump them after school, they take their lunch money, they take their shoes. So, what am I trying to say? It manifests itself in what we see today, as I believe the brother Corey was saying, or somebody on stage was saying. The rappers with the murder music, they get pedestalized. The twerkers, the thots, the thong wearers, the little smutties, little smibs, they out here getting pedestalized. The women want to pattern themselves after this. The mothers, it's even grown women um, backsliding in their behavior, 50, 60 years old, getting BBLs, getting a fake body. So because we have a society in America, and I'll try to land it here, because we have a society that suffers greatly from allodoxophobia, which is the fear of what other people think about them. They get influenced by what's popular, and then they go perpetrate what they're influenced by. And in our community, we just happen to perpetrate things that are detrimental and not conducive, and that are counterintuitive, and that actually is kind of suicidal to our culture. What we perpetrate, like people killing each other, should not be pedestalized. Drugs should not be pedestalized. Uh, Alternative lifestyles in our community that break up the nuclear family and perpetuate uh, deviation from what's natural should not be pedestalized. Women altering their body other than going to the gym should not be pedestalized. Men perpetrating silly behavior should not be pedestalized. Running down on the neighbor, Miss Johnson, should not be pedestalized. You understand? So when we get our priorities straight and we begin to prioritize people who do the right thing above those who do the wrong thing, I believe then we might be on the trajectory to healing our culture and going back in the right direction. But I think it starts there, and we can only get there. And I'll land with this sentence: by looking in the mirror and taking accountability for what we do as an individual and what happens under our roof. We can't control what happens outside. I always say this: you ain't running up on no group of young dudes talking about pull your pants up, take the dreads out your head and all that. They're gonna pop you. You're gonna get your brains popped. You're gonna get smoked. What we got to do is make sure our kids are productive. I'm productive. My wife is productive. And then as we do that, naturally, you will phase out the behavior because we're producing productive members. And that's all I got to say.
Yeah, I agree with you. Before anybody else talk, let's get Trav in there because he hasn't spoke yet. Go ahead, brother Trav.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Viz made a good point earlier about how all, or at least most other cultures have the same type of degeneracy going on, right? But the difference is they don't allow those people to represent them. So we have to do, if it's something that you don't appreciate, then it has to be something that we eradicate, right? And the only way to do that is to stop feeding into it, stop giving it that attention. A lot of times we'll look at pretty much social media is what's running everything right now. So if you're on social media and you're watching these people, you're sharing these people, you're commenting on these people, that's one of the worst things you can do to perpetuate it. Because once you get through the black algorithm, it's over. Now it's mainstream, and that's what's going to represent us. Whoever we decide to elevate is going to be who represents us. But we pay attention to too much of the nonsense, and we don't praise enough of people who are doing well in life. A couple gentlemen said today, like, we'll tease people for being smart. That shit is crazy. They should be praised. They should be the ones with the accolades. And when people are out here acting out of pocket, we should be shitting on them. And of course, Marcus also made a great point with the fathers. That's where it starts, and probably where it ends. If we could actually take the time to make sure that we're instilling these values into our children from young and being very intentional about it. A lot of times, and there's some of us who might be in the homes, but maybe we just work a lot, or we too busy, right? We trying to get to the money. But there's certain things that you're not going to get from the mother alone. That discipline and that structure that your children are going to have is going to come from you. That one-on-one time, having those early talks with them, because we have to realize that the influence now is different than what it was before. These kids got the entire world in the palm of their hand. Once they have a cell phone, it's a wrap. And if they don't got one, they're going to go to school and their friends got one. So we got to tackle these conversations way earlier than we feel comfortable, because their peers are definitely going to feel comfortable introducing them to things. I'll leave it there.
Hey, Trev, can I ask you a quick question? Would you agree that the power, that people underestimate the power of shame? Do you agree that that's something that we should reinstitute in our community, as you stated? Like,
I'm 100% with you on that.
Okay.
Yes,
I'm for real.
I think I believe in that. I spoke on it before, on a panel. I definitely believe we should have shame for people who we don't want to represent us. When we see some bullshit, call it out. I think a lot of us here do a good job at that, but culturally, not as much.
Hey, can I ask you a question, Trev?
I don't think that shame is as influential and as powerful as it once was. People that you would shame actually embrace it. They're gonna make a video of you trying to shame them and have everyone shame the person that's shaming them. So I think that I agree, but I don't think that that's a useful tool now, because it's not going to get us anywhere. It's just going to give them more fuel to give you a reason to shame them.
Viz, would you agree that within the realm of social media? Go ahead, Marcus. I don't want to hog the mic.
I think shame can work, but you have to be respected by that group of people to shame them. You can't be shaming them and then say something.
Hell
like,
no, bro.
So you telling me that you like, so the police shame people for not telling? Why they still don't tell?
No, that's not. Come on, bro.
You have to have respect within
that. That's something completely different.
The white people can say to me all day, "I don't like the way you speak. I think you should dress like this. I think you should do." I don't give a fuck what them people say.
Marcus, you're not Marcus.
Okay.
Marcus, it don't have to be people you respect, but it has to be people of your people group. See, shame leads to ostracization. See, the problem is not just the shame. See, churches are the ones have been the used to be the gatekeepers of shame. And when they said, "Oh, you know what? Shame don't exist no more. We as the church, we not gonna say nothing about nothing." And when the churches stop talking, the people stop talking.
Will, the people don't respect the church.
No.
That's
Marcus,
if they respected the church, this shame could work. Look, if you ain't ever raised your kids right, and you go around your kids when they grown, they have no relationship with you, and you try and shame them, they're gonna be like, "Get your goof ass on." However, if you raised your kids and you there with them every day, looking at them is enough to change their behavior. It's the relationship that allows you to instill information.
Yes, and no. Yes, and go ahead, Biz.